Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your AEW, NXT, Ring of Honor, MLW results for this week of the ending of the week, Thanksgiving week. Ring of Honor's Angelina Love recently spoke to AfterBuzz TV to discuss how she's established herself as a top female wrestler in every promotion that she's ever been part of. Angelina took some time to mention the ongoing criticisms that Ring of Honor management has received regarding the treatment of female talent, including not renewing Kelly Kine's contract. She says that she's unsure of all of the details and that she wishes that the drama was kept away from their place at work. I'm having a blast in Ring of Honor. I know apparently things went down, Angelina said. Also, and I was on a very relaxing and fun vacation with my son in Florida when all that stuff went down. So I'm actually not privy to how it started. Who did what? The background? I was just like lying on the beach with my son, enjoying life. I cannot deal with the drama right now. But I don't even actually even you know what. You know what? Even when there is a wrestling drama and there is stuff that happens, that goes on. I don't even want to know. Everybody's got drama in their personal life, and going to work is almost like, an escape from everyday life and real life stress and drama, Angelina continued. So like I said, I was just having a great time with my son. I don't know the details. I don't know the background. I don't know who started what or why who said. Mandy, Velvet, and I, we're doing our own thing, and we're having fun. Angelina is now looking ahead to the new year, hoping to add more Ring of Honor title reigns and to her already impressive list of accolades. She is proud of her ongoing work with fellow teammates Velvet, Sky, and the unique presence that they bring to Ring of Honor shows. In their Impact days, they were known as the Beautiful People. Sky, I'm focused on winning the Women of Honor Championship back when, and being a 2-time Women of Honor champion, 8-time world champion, and just bringing the allure to heightened levels like we can always do, especially me and Velvet in a group. We've been doing that for over a decade. So it's cool to bring something different to Ring of Honor that they didn't have before. And you can catch that link. Maryland State Athletic Commission is reportedly investigating AEW over the unsanctioned lights out match a few weeks ago that Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega had at Full Gear on November 9th. Former WCW announcer Chris Cruz recently contacted the commission regarding the Omega versus Moxley match and asked about their rulings on blading and allowing matches to continue if the performer is bleeding either intentionally or unintentionally, and if there was a commission doctor at the show. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, after repeated requests, Cruz was told that the commission prohibits wrestlers from deliberately lacerating themselves or their opponents, or introducing human or animal blood into the match. The commission also said that they were at Full Gear and they had a doctor assigned to the show. They also stated that they were conducting a formal investigation into the match, and because of that investigation, they were unable to comment on questions about the match. Now here's Cruz's Facebook post from November 23rd, where he mentioned his plan to contact the commission. I'll be asking the Maryland State Athletic Commission why it didn't enforce its own rules at AEW Full Gear. And here are some of the rules. See especially F, prohibited activities. Number 1, following actions are prohibited. A. Striking an opponent with a fist or using the knuckles. B. Scratching or gouging the opponent. M is definitely one of them. Okay. C is butting the opponent. D. Slamming an opponent into a ring post. E. Striking an opponent with a foreign object. F. Kicking an opponent unless he's recognized wrestling move. G. Stranglehold. H. Pulling hair. I. Inhibiting breathing by covering the nose and mouth at the same time. J. Jumping from the ring ropes onto an opponent. K. Deliberately leaving the ring enclosure during a contest. L. Unsportsmanlike or physically dangerous conduct. And M. Deliberately lacerating oneself or one opponent's or by another means, introducing human or animal blood into the ring. 2. A wrestler continuing to engage in prohibited activities after sufficient warning may be disqualified by the referee. There was no referee in the match, so it could not be a disqualification. Cruz recently Wrestling with History podcast also talked about why he doesn't see AEW succeeding. AEW has millions of dollars from the son of a billionaire and is not setting the world on fire and will not succeed, Cruz said. Well, he should say the same thing about WWE then. The son of a billionaire? Well, visit Kenny McMahon Sr. It may last a long time, but will never be profitable. Somebody once said, if you want to be a billionaire, start with $1 billion and buy an airplane or airline. It's the same thing with a pro wrestling organization. It's just going to bleed you dry. Not everything is guaranteed to last forever. It's my conviction that wrestling has seen better days. AEW has announced a storyline fine to Jimmy Havoc for using a stable gun during the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal on last week's AEW Dynamite episode from Indianapolis, Indiana. The fine is for $10,000. AEW noted in their announcement that Havoc will be fined the same amount if he uses a stable gun again in future matches. And it can be found at that link. AEW management has reprimanded Jimmy Havoc for utilizing a stable gun on Wednesday night in Indianapolis. Havoc has been fined $10,000 for his actions, and he will face future $10,000 fines anytime he uses a stable gun, AEW wrote on Twitter. AEW Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes revealed on Twitter that AEW will have some younger talents training as students at the One Fall Power Factory near Atlanta. Cody responded to a fan on Twitter who asked if AEW will be having a training facility like WCW's power plant. Cody noted that they won't have students under the AEW banner directly, but they plan to have multiple talents training at the One Fall Power Factory, where he also trains. Cody noted that these students will be under contracts to AEW. Not one under the company banner directly, but we will have multiple students at the Norcross, Georgia facility where I train who are under AEW contracts. At Real, Marshall 1 has a great facility, Cody wrote. Cody didn't actually name the One Fall Power Company in his tweet, but it looks like this is the facility he is referring to. One Fall Power Factory is in Norcross, Georgia, is owned by Michael QT Marshall and former WCW star Ray Glacier Lloyd, who is an assistant coach there. Marshall, who also works behind the scenes at AEW as an associate producer, recently made his AEW in-ring debut by teaming with Peter Avalon for a loss to Sonny Kiss and Dustin Rhodes on October 23rd Dark tapings. Marshall also worked the October 30th Dynamite episode, teaming with John Silver and Alex Reynolds for a loss to Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends. Marshall has also worked for WWE and Ring of Honor, has 15 years plus experience. No word yet on who AEW will have working with their tunes, but Dustin has expressed interest in helping younger talents during recent media interviews. AEW has veterans like Billy Gunn and Jerry Lynn on their coaches roster, and earlier this year it was announced that they hired Dean Malenko to work as senior producer and coach. Previously reported, WWE NXT scored its first victory over AEW Dynamite this week since the Wednesday Night Wars began in early October. NXT featured a host of Raw and SmackDown talent. Heading into Survivor Series, the weekend drew 916,000 viewers on the USA Network, topping 893,000 viewers that garnered by AEW on Dynamite on TNT by 2.6%. Cody Rhodes commented on the 7-week winning streak of AEW Dynamite, beating NXT in total viewers coming in to join in on Twitter. When a fan asked for his thoughts on NXT winning this week, Cody replied, "Take it on the chin, learn from it, get up off the mat and get to work. Excuses are a-holes." While NXT won the night in total viewers, AEW Dynamite still managed to beat NXT in the 18-14 demo, a 30% guarding 0.39 ratings in the demo compared to 0.30 scored by NXT. The gap was still closer than in recent memory, as AEW has often been more doubling NXT's ratings in the demo. The good news for wrestling fans is that the combined viewership for AEW Dynamite and NXT was 1.809 million viewers, up 6% from last week, and the highest since the Wednesday Night Wars started on October 2nd. Women wrestling star Jungle Girl spoke to Wrestling Epicenter ahead of the Wild 2-hour season finale on Access TV. During this link, you can see the interview in the link yourself. Jungle Girl spoke about how WoW has changed over the years. Why 2001 pay-per-view forced the promotion to take a few steps back. Impact's parent company, Anthem Sports and Entertainment, buying into Access TV and AEW's Jungle Boy. Although it's taken almost 20 years for WoW creator David McClain's vision to be realized, Jungle Girl spoke about how the promotion has evolved over the years. "I think it's amazing," Jungle Girl said. "I think the evolution of WoW from what we started 20 years ago to where we are now, and it's not even the pinnacle, but I think it's really is what David McClain's vision was 20 years ago. What he wanted to see. The difference is now everybody is on board, is in a mutual agreement on the visions that David had 20 years ago. The talent pool also now has a lot of different, and that is spectacular." Back in September, Impact Wrestling's parent company, Anthem Sports Entertainment, purchased a majority interest in Access TV, which is where Impact now airs its brand. Jungle Girl wasn't sure what it meant down the road, but ultimately felt like if ego doesn't become involved, both brands could remain on the same channel. I don't know. Truth be told, Jungle Girl said, "I think that we are two very different products. I think the viewer is smart enough to understand that. There are those that say that one character is a face on one show, but a heel on another. But I think the consumer is smart enough to tell the difference. I can sit and watch Impact with my son. There are things on their show that aren't just not age appropriate. I think we have both good shows." End of her highlights. Ring of Honor episode 426. You can be found in this link. And I'll give you the 1123 episode, part 2 final finale. Team captain's crown. Team tag team champions crown. Blanchard defended against the Beast. Psycho Sisters versus Chantilly Chella, Sassy Mancy, Keto Rush. Psycho Sisters won by pinfall. Disciplinary versus Reina Reyes. Reina Reyes won by pinfall. Monsters of Madness versus Fire and Adrenaline for the Wild Tag Team Championships. Fire and Adrenaline won by pinfall to become the new Wild Tag Team Champions. Preston Aussie versus Holiday. Match is ruled no contest due to outside interference from the sisters. Abilene Maverick versus Stephanie Slays. Stephanie Slays won by pinfall. Jessica Blanchard versus the Beast for the Wild World Championship. Beast won by pinfall to become the new Wild World Champion. Beast celebrated. Confetti falls from the skies. Commentary puts over how great of a reign Blanchard has had, but this is the Beast time. Ending season 2. And that's the show. The MO Fusion episode from 11/23 can be found in this link. Episode number 85. There's actually 2 links for that. So, AEW has announced that their Dynamite debut in Ohio will take place Wednesday, January 29th from the Holstein Center in Cleveland. As seen in this link, AEW stars featured in the promotional material for the Cleveland show are AEW World Champion Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley, MJF, and the Young Bucks. AEW Dark this week. First match, actually a link and what have you. Here at AEW Wrestling, this week's AEW Dark went up again with a technical glitch. At 2 p.m. today, corrected version will premiere on the official AEW #AEW YouTube channel. Full episode link for AEW Dynamite at this link, number 8. But here's the results. AEW World Champion Chris Jericho's Thanksgiving Thank You celebration kicks off the show with Soul Train Jones, formerly known as Vincent from NWO, along with a portrait of the Inner Circle, presents, and some goofy mascots dancing outside the ring. On the ramp is a marching band, as Jericho with the title and a little bit of bubbly heads to the ring. Crowd with a Thank You Jericho chant. Jericho tells the crowd to shut up to get those boos going. He then tells the crowd, look under the chair for a coupon to get 50 cents off his t-shirt. Jericho then shows off his little bit of bubbly cheek champagne and actually has a website for it. Jericho and Soul Train then try it out. Jericho then brings down Santana, Ortiz, and Sammy Guevara, who come with gifts. Jericho rips on someone in the crowd, and as they make their way down, Sammy goes to talk and gets booed. Jericho tells them to shut up. Sammy thanks Jericho, and then has a gift for Jericho. Sammy unveils a cardboard cutout of Jericho and Sammy hugging. Then they actually hug. Santana and Ortiz give some gifts, including something to help them avoid the flu, flip plus a little bit of the 40. Crowd chants 40. And then they put a Puerto Rico flag bandana around his head. Jericho wonders where Jake Hager is. Hager walks up from the back with an actual goat. Chris Jerry Goat. Jericho finally asks what the giant present in the ring is. The wrapping paper is Jericho with a title. Inside is his dad, a former New York Ranger player, which got boos from the crowd. His dad got on the mic and says, "It's so great to be back in New York City." Crowd boos. Jericho lets him know that they are actually in Chicago. "Let's go Blackhawks" chant from the crowd. His dad says they beat them all the time, and they were brutal. His dad says the Blackhawks were and always will be wimps. He then gives out Rangers merchandise to the Inner Circle. Crowd with a Rangers suck chant. Jericho then has an official statement from the higher-ups at AEW and TNT. He doesn't feel like reading, though. He tells Justin Roberts to get in and read it. Crowd, you can't read chant to Roberts. Jericho says to Roberts, "What's your name, kid?" Robertson reads the thank you chant about all Jericho's contributions to AEW. Jericho says he thought it was a nice thank you, but didn't like Robert's tone. Jericho then slaps Roberts in the Inner Circle, beat him up a bit. The marching band shows up. and it's actually SCU. 3 members of it. They clear out the inner circle and then take out Soul Train Jones. Justin Roberts is out. So Dasha is stepping in to take over the ring announcing. Best Friends with Orange Cassidy head to the ring. Lucha Brothers attack before the match starts. Trent and Taylor fight back. Cassidy goes off the top and clears out both guys. Best Friends versus Lucha Brothers are up now. Match is underway. Quick hug by Best Friends in this one. Trent goes for the pin for a 2 count. Pentagon and Phoenix with a stereo super kicks on Trent. Pentagon works over Trent as we go to break. Taylor gets in there, hits multiple clotheslines. Standing side spread on Phoenix. Goes for a single leg Boston Crab on Pentagon. But eats a super kick by Phoenix. Phoenix charges in. Taylor with an overhead release suplex, sending Phoenix into Pentagon. Trent is in there now, but gets dropped by Pentagon Jr. Covers for a 2 count. JR notes that the Lucha Brothers are currently number 1 in the rankings. Cassidy's dressed as a turkey, distracted Pentagon. Trent with a roll up for a 2 count. Trent plants Phoenix into the mat for the 3. Best Friends win by pinfall. Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander versus Bea Priestley and Emi Sakura. Back and forth action start that leads out to the floor. Shida sets up a chair on the outside. Emi gets in the way and drinks some tea. Shida shoves her off and then hits a leaping knee on Emi. Beat gets back into it. Drops Shida and sends her back in the ring. Emi and B work over Shida as we go to split screen break. Priestley with some running boot to Shida's head. Covers for a 2 count. Emi tags in. Abdominal stretch while singing in the mic that she brought into the ring. Kick to Shida's head. B tags in. While the crowd gives Emi the Emi sucks chant. Shida with an insecurity, but B returns a return fight with a release German suplex. Shida with a high knee. Finally brings Statlander into the ring. She chops Emi. Bridges under an attack. Kick to the head. Drops B off the apron. Clocks Emi. And then does the Oklahoma roll for a 2 count. Emi drops Statlander. Goes for a moonsault. Misses Shida with a boot to the back of the head. Statlander with a kick to the head. Electric chair position into a face buster. Scissor kick. Covers. Very close to a 3 count. B gets in the ring. Eats a roundhouse. Emi ends up hitting Statlander in the back with the mic stand while the referee was checking on B. Emi with a tricky roll-up win. So Emi Sakura and B Priestley winning by pinfall. Backstage, Jon Moxley says he's a blazing trail. I'm a napalm death. As he runs through the AEW roster, Moxley says he wonders if anyone is out there that wants to get him before he gets him. Someone crazy? Moxley continues that he wonders if anyone wants to step up to be a hero. Go ahead, try it, Moxley says before heading off. Also, the lights was lit red the whole time. No one complained. Remember Bray Wyatt gimmick? Red lights, same thing, but teasing up. Also, Cody versus Matt Nix. Don't know who Matt Nix is. Cody shakes Matt's hand to start off to get the match going. Cody sweeps leg, but Nix gets a shot on Cody. It's beat up ribs. Cody is able to hit a springboard cutter through. A springboard cutter on him, then takes the weight belt off and launches it into the crowd. Crowd goes wild. Cody drops Nix and then locks in a figure 4, and Nix taps out. Cody won by submission. After the match, Cody gets on the mic and starts out with MJF. We don't have to wait. Let's do this right now. Up from underneath the ring comes the Blade, a.k.a. Braxton Sutter, or Pepper Parks, and the Butcher. Looks like a new tag team that has debuted on the AEW. Allie joins the group and is now known as the Bunny. Pac versus Kenny Omega, formerly known as Neville. Omega out hot in this match, taking Pac down at every turn. Pac ends up rolling to the floor. Omega looks to fly. Flips over the top, takes out Pac. Pac recovers and hits a moonsault from the floor to the ring. Pac gets Omega back in the ring. Pac flips into the ring. Couple reversals. Omega hits a snapdragon suplex. Omega able to keep the offense going. Multiple strikes. Fisherman's Buster covers for a 2 count. 2 wrestlers end up on the top rope. Pac with a Super Falcon Arrow covers for a 2 count. Pac heads up top again. Goes for a Black Arrow. But the pool was empty. Omega lands a V-trigger. 1 winged angel. Nope. Omega with a crucifix spin. Nope. Omega then rolls and stacks Pac up for another pin attempt and gets it. Winner by pinfall, Kenny Omega. MJF with Wardlow versus Adam Page. Winner receives the AEW Diamond Ring. Commentary announces that this will be an annual match in regard to who gets the ring for the year. Page goes to work on MJF right off the bat. Gets out of the ring. Page looks to fight, but Wardlow gets in the way. Page comes out to the floor, throws MJF into the barricade. Page stares Wardlow for a moment, goes to get back in the ring. Wardlow grabs his foot. Page yells at him. MJF distracts the referee. Wardlow ends up sending Page in the ring post. Back from the break, Page is really taking it to MJF. He goes for a pin. Wardlow puts MJF's foot on the ropes to break it up. Page getting annoyed with Wardlow. He goes to say something to him and eats a massive punch while the referee checked on MJF. MJF with an ugly looking cross rolls for the 1-2-3. Winner by pinfall and gets the ring. MJF. After the match, DDP heads out to the ring to present the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring to MJF. He gets on the mic and says why he's here. He then hands over the ring to MJF. MJF takes it, puts it on his finger, and gives it a kiss. Page says some of MJF's actions have been very disappointing, but tonight he's the man. While slapping him on his shoulder, DDP says, "Well, I'm the bigger man. I'll congratulate you like a man." DDP put out his hand, and MJF put his gum in DDP's hand. DDP says, "Seriously?" MJF responds, "Seriously." DDP gets in MJF's face. Wardlow gets into DDP's face. DDP says he better get out of his face, and a mini brawl breaks out. Security and referees get involved before too much goes on. In the ring, Dustin Rhodes talks with Jennifer Decker. Members of the Inner Circle get in the ring and eventually take down Dustin. From the back, out comes Matt Jackson, hitting a double clothesline. Nick comes out as well, hitting a double super kicks. Sammy clocks Matt, hits Dustin, then eats a triple super kick. Santana, Ortiz, and Sammy each get a curtain call, kick between the legs. We see a random guy from last week look at Dark Order flyer, taking a phone number from it, cut to a group meeting with Dark Order, talking to a group of people about reaching their full potential in life. Evil Uno says, "We are everything. We are one. Are you ready to pledge to the Dark Order?" Next, we get Chris Jericho versus Scorpio Sky for the AEW World Championship. Commentary notes that nobody is out at ringside for this match. Jericho is able to drop Sky and does some very early taunting. Crowd with a stupid idiot chant. Jericho with a headlock. Who's an idiot now? Jericho with a couple of shoulder tackles, but Sky hits a dropkick. Then close out Jericho out of the ring. Sky to the floor, hits another boot to the face. Back in the ring, sunset flip to Jericho. Back and forth action. Sky is up on the apron. Jericho with a drop kick. That sent Sky to the floor. Sky hits a cutter on Jericho. Chops to the chest. Jericho is able to lock in the Lion Terror. Sky is able to make his way to the bottom rope for the break. Aubrey Edwards has to physically stop Jericho, who then gets in her face. The referee. Sky with a cutter and goes into a dragon sleeper. Jake Hager runs down and jumps on the apron. Sky knocks him. Jericho with a roll up for a 2 count. Double clothesline by both wrestlers. Now Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels go after Hager and force him backstage. Edwards is distracted. Jericho grabs the title, swings, misses. Sky with a TKO cover, 2 count. Sky thought that was it. Sky with some punches, charges in, eats a boot. Jericho goes to the second rope, but Sky nails and standing Hurricane covers for a 2 count. Sky leaps off the second rope and takes takes a code breaker and gets a 2 count. Jericho tries for a Judas effect. No, roll up for a 2 count. Jericho is able to lock in the Lion Tamer again in the middle of the ring, and Sky taps out. As Chris Jericho retains the title. Crowd was way into it. Seemed like a lot of folks thought Scorpio had a shot. After match, Jericho goes back to Sky and really locks in the Lion Tamer. Moxley's music hits, and Moxley comes out in the crowd and just stares at Jericho. Jericho barks at Moxley, gets his title, and taunts Moxley a bit. Moxley finally makes his way closer to the ring as the show comes to a close. Also noted, Cody Rhodes was blindsided by the new tag team, the Butcher and the Blade. After his win on AEW, debuting tag team also featured Ali, now going as the Bunny. After the attack, Cody commented on Twitter, wondering who that was. Dark Order had a vignette on tonight's show featuring Evil Uno and Grayson talking to a group of people in an attempt to get them to join the Dark Order. AEW has gone a step further with the tag team, opening a joindarkorder.com website where fans can join. And it can be seen in this link here. Also, Jennifer Decker attempted to get the interview with the Best Friends, and Orange Cassidy dressed in a turkey suit. After the team defeated the Lucha Brothers, the group didn't end up answering any of her questions and just entertained themselves during the segment. Next week, Trent will take on Phoenix in singles action, was advertised. At AE Wrestling, this link here shows a picture of that. At Jennifer Sturger tried her best to get an exclusive interview with at Best Friends, hashtag Best Friends, as the show how it went down. After AEW Dynamite, Jimmy Havoc defeated Baxter Color. I'm going to say to this link, by pinfall. After match, Havoc used a staple gun on Color. So I guess he's going to get another $10,000 fine. Second match, Shawn Spears defeat Sonny Kiss by pinfall. After match, Spears hit Kiss with a power driver on the floor. And that can be found on this link. In the final match of the night, Proud and Powerful of Santana and Ortiz defeated Jurassic Express of Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. After the match, Jurassic Express gets beat up. Sammy joined in, and Luchasaurus makes a save. Jake Hager even the odds as the Young Bucks then join the party. Multiple finishers on Sammy Guevara to send the crowd home happy at this link. After AEW Dark, Cody and the Bucks joined Jurassic Express to shoot t-shirts in the crowd. Cody also threw his boots in the crowd as well. And it can be seen on this link as everyone went home happy. All three matches are scheduled for next Tuesday at AEW Dark. Nyla Rose will be special guest commentator for next week's Dark. NXT episode opens up with a video package with the highlights from TakeOver War Games 2019 Saturday night. Live from the NXT Arena at Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. Josiah Williams is on stage talking about how NXT beat up on Raw and SmackDown at Survivor Series. Now it's time to celebrate, he says. The NXT roster empties out into the NXT arena, celebrating with each other and the crowd as Josiah raps into the intro. Music hits and out comes the Undisputed Era, NXT champion Adam Cole, North American champion Roderick Strong, NXT Tag Team champions Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. Cole knocks the roster for the celebration like they did something. Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and Dominic Dijakovic enter the ring. Cole goes on about how the success of the weekend was due to the Undisputed Era. He says, none of you are NXT. None of you accomplished anything this weekend. Undisputed Era is NXT, and because of NXT, that a You Suck chant breaks out from the crowd and interrupts Cole. It's because of the Undisputed Era that NXT was successful. He goes on about dominating at both events and says they are just getting started. He says that they are only Iron Men. They are the Iron Men of this brand. Cole says the others would love to have the night off, but not us. Fish and O'Reilly will successfully defend their titles tonight because that's what they do. Cole goes on until Ciampa interrupts him. Look, they stole somebody else's catchphrase. Mark Henry. Ciampa touts a War Games win and says that was the beginning of the end of the Undisputed Era. He says the collapse continues tonight when Lee and Djokovic take the NXT titles away. Fan check for Lee. Ciampa says Strong's days are numbered and last, but certainly not least, Goldie. Fan chant Goldie now. Ciampa goes on with the threats for Cole. Music hits. Out comes Finn Balor to the stage. He steps through the Undisputed Era and stares at Cole. Balor speaks from a few feet in front of Cole and says it looks like he's in Ciampa's way now. Ciampa has words for Balor and challenges him to a match. Fan chat yes now. Lee talks about Ciampa beating Balor tonight. Lee is tired of wasting time. He tells Fish and O'Reilly to get in the ring for their match. Fan chat for Lee as the music hits. Balor returns to the back as we get ready for the match. We go to the Hall of Famers, Beth Phoenix, Nigel McGuinness, and Tom Phillips, who's replacing Mauro Ranallo again. Beth says Mauro is not here tonight, but they hope to see him back next week. NXT Tag Team title match, Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic versus the Undisputed Era. Bell rings and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish attack Keith Lee and Dominic in their corner. They take out Dijakovic, but Lee fights off both opponents. Lee tosses one to the floor and launches the other out onto him as the fans pop. Dijakovic returns to the ring to stand with Lee as we go to commercial. Back for the break, Roger Strong has stepped in for Bobby Fish due to medical reasons, has ordered by NXT General Manager Rhea Regal. This is still for the titles. Strong works on Lee, and then comes Roddy to take over on Lee. More back and forth between the teams. Strong gets taken out a few times by Lee. There appears to be some tension between Lee and Dijakovic, but they team up to unload on the champs. Dijakovic slams Lee on top of the champs for a big pop. Dijakovic fights off both opponents. Now Strong with a chop block from behind. Strong with more power moves and shots to the leg of Dijakovic. Nigel noted that Lee injured Fish during the commercial. Strong and Dijakovic continue to go at it. Strong keeps him down and works on the leg. Strong drops Dijakovic again for a 2 count. Back to commercial. Back for the break. O'Reilly keeps Dijakovic down. O'Reilly rocks Lee in the corner and just angers him. Lee finally tags in and unloads on both opponents for a pop. Lee tosses O'Reilly into Strong after Moore running wild by himself. O'Reilly saves Strong for a power bomb. Lee ends up tossing them both at the same time for another pop for the crowd. The fans chant for Lee again as he stands tall. They bring Lee out and O'Reilly charges at him with a big knee. They bring Lee back in and Strong misses the knee from the top. Lee knocks O'Reilly out of the air when he jumps. Dijakovic tags back in, but Strong chops him. Dijakovic takes Strong to the corner and unloads. Dijakovic with more offense on the other corner. Dijakovic with a big clothesline. Strong fights back and goes back to the hurt knee of Dijakovic. O'Reilly tags in, but Dijakovic lifts him. O'Reilly catches him with a triangle. Dijakovic powers up. Strong runs in, but Dijakovic slams them both at the same time for another big pop. O'Reilly still kicks out too. Dijakovic with more power moves but to Strong. O'Reilly rolls Dijakovic up. While he has Strong, he kicks out too. The champs look to walk away, but Lee stops them at ringside. Dijakovic springboards off the top and nails the champs on the floor. Fans go wild. O'Reilly snaps Dijakovic's hurt leg over the middle rope. Strong tags in, but Dijakovic nails a double choke slam. Adam Cole runs down, but Lee hits a pounce, sending Cole flying into the second row of the crowd. Fan chant, holy crap, at the big bump by Cole. Dijakovic looks on from the ring, allowing Strong and O'Reilly to hit high low for the pin and win as Lee runs in just a second too late. Undisputed Era retains. After match, champs and us all together on the ramp as Lee and Dijakovic regroup in the ring. Music hits as we go to replays. We see Cole with Strong and O'Reilly on the stage now, raising the titles high. And not to show us steals for the first ever women's War Games match on Saturday. Katie Kelly backstage with Candice LeRae. Candice interrupts and says all she's heard about since War Games is Dakota Kai. And all she can think about is Kai destroying Tegan Nox, who she considers a sister. LeRae says this was supposed to be a friend, but she's She didn't expect this. She says Tegan will get her revenge on Kai, but tonight she will get Kai in the ring. Back to commercial. Back to the break. Tom hypes tonight's show. We see footage from the weekend. Then we see Akira Tozawa backstage warming up for his title shot. Shane Thorne versus Mansoor. We go to the ring. Out comes Shane Thorne. Out comes Mansoor as we get a look at how he won the Battle Royal at Super Showdown in June. Then the win over Cesaro at Crown Jewel. Both events in Saudi Arabia, where he is from. Back and forth start the match. Thorne with some chops. Mansoor counters for a close 2 count. Mansoor goes right into a standing moonsault for another 2 count. Mansoor then sends Shane out to the floor. Mansoor then runs out for a dive, but Thorne grabs him in mid-move. Thorne with a big suplex on the floor. Thorne brings it back in the ring for a close 2 count. They trade strikes in the middle of the ring. Thorne hits a big German suplex for a 2 count in the middle of the ring. Mansoor ends up sending Thorne back out and hitting a dive. Mansoor brings it back in, launches himself in from the apron into a big neck breaker. Mansoor covers for the pin to win. After the match, Mansoor stands tall as the music plays. Go to replays. Still to come, LeRae versus Kai. Back to commercial. Match is up next. Back for the break. Out comes Candice LeRae. Dakota Kai was out next with some moves. Kai stops on the stage and shows that she's carrying Tegan Nox's knee brace. Kai enters the ring and raises the brace as the moves continue. She places the brace over the ring post in the corner. The bell rings and they meet and trap words. Kai swings, but LeRae catches it. Kai misses a kick and LeRae drops her. LeRae with a big kick. LeRae mounts Kai with a strike. Kai catches LeRae, but LeRae drops her over her knee. Kai dodges a move and retreats to the floor for a breather. Kai counters and misses a kick. LeRae drop kicks her from the ring. LeRae runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive to Kai on the floor. LeRae brings it back in the ring and drops a step-up senton for a close 2 count. Kai counters again and rams LeRae back in the corner. Kai charges but gets sent to the apron. She goes to the floor, slams LeRae into the ring post. Kai slams LeRae's face into the apron a few times as the referee warns her. Kai with a big boot to the face while LeRae is face down on the apron. Fans boo her. Kai brings it back in the ring for a 2 count. Kai keeps LeRae down and hits another big kick to the face while on the floor as LeRae lays face down on the apron. We go to commercial with Kai standing tall on the outside. Back from a break, they go at it in the ring with strikes. LeRae kicks Kai. Kai counters a hurricane and hits a big power bomb for a 2 count. Candice fights and they tangle on the apron, or to the apron. Candice looks to hit a suplex variation on the apron, but they miss the apron, and on the way down, both land on the floor. Referee counts. LeRae is back in at 7 count. They trade big strikes in the middle of the ring. LeRae unloads in the corner and beats Kai up. LeRae charges with a hip attack. LeRae takes Kai down and goes to the top. LeRae launches herself at Kai from the top for a big tornado DDT, but Kai still kicks out too. Kai comes back with a headbutt. Kai runs around the ring, delivers a big boot to the face in the corner. Kai charges again, but LeRae kicks her in the neck to bring her down. Fans rally while both superstars are down now. LeRae goes to the top. Kai cuts her off, climbs up. Kai pounds on Candice. Candice fights back and goes for the sunset bomb, but it's blocked. Kai fights, but Candice repositions and power bombs her to the mat for a 2 count. Candice with a kick to the face. Candice misses a moonsault as Kai moves. Kai hits a chiropractor for a close 2 count. Fan chat, this is awesome. Now, Kai unloads with kicks. Kai scoops LeRae on her shoulders, but she slides out and rolls her up for a 2 count. Candice goes on and applies a Gargano escape in the middle of the ring. As the fans pop, Kai goes for the ropes, but Candice tries to reposition. Kai breaks free, goes to the floor for a breather. Candice runs the ropes, nails the suicide dive, but Kai grabs the knee brace and decks her with it at the ropes for the disqualification. Winner by DQ, Candice LeRae. After the match, Kai attacks Candice on the floor, whipped her in steel ring steps as fans boo. Kai grabs a steel chair, but Rhea Ripley runs down and knocks it out of her hand. Fans pop and start cheering for Ripley as Kai yells at her from the stage. Ripley's chants continue as she checks on the ring. Kathy is backstage with Tommaso Ciampa, asking about tonight's main event. Ciampa issued a challenge to Finn Balor because he wants a match. Ciampa gives Balor some props, but says he's the one that made the NXT title the most prestigious in the business, not Balor. Ciampa goes on and says Balor wants to stand in his way tonight, but it will be Balor's exit. We'll go to commercial. Back to the break, we get a quick victory for Cameron Grimes. And now to briefly talk about Grimes. And they sent us a video package of Rhea Ripley with highlights from her Survivor Series weekend. NXT Cruiserweight title match, Akira Tozawa versus Lee Rush. Go to the ring, out comes the challenger, Akira, who is representing Raw. NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Rush is out next. Announcers can't stop talking about Angel Garza feuding with Rush. Alicia Taylor does formal rings and exercises. Bell rings and they tackle to start. Rush dodges a kick. Rush gets the upper hand first and shows off some. Tozawa fights back, but misses a senton as Rush moves. Rush with a quick splash. We get a stalemate and Spanish chair Lamont. Rush catches a kick and misses a chop. More back and forth. Tozawa rocks Rush while he's up top and knocks him to the mat. They tackle on the apron. Rush goes for a German on the floor, but Tozawa fights him off. Rush goes for a powerbomb to the floor, but Tozawa stops that as well. Tozawa nails a big kick to drop Rush on the floor. Tozawa stands tall as we go to commercial. Back to the break, Rush has Tozawa grounded in the ring. The fans rally as they fight to their feet. Tozawa gets Rush in a fireman's carry and slams her face first to the mat. Tozawa drop kicks Rush out of the ring. Tozawa goes for a dive, but Rush moves. Tozawa goes to the apron instead and runs for a big senton, taking Rush back down on the floor. Fan chant NXT now. They bring it back in. Tozawa goes to the top for a missile drop kick. Rush kicks out at one by grabbing the bottom rope. Tozawa swings in the middle of the ring, but Rush blocks and unloads. More back and forth, quick counters and strikes. They both collide in midair with jumping kicks in the middle of the ring, and both go down. Fan chant, this is awesome, as they both are slowly to get up. Rush fights Tozawa off. Tozawa blocks his suplex attempt. They go to the apron, and Tozawa delivers a big kick. More back and forth on the apron. Tozawa grabs Rush and delivers a German suplex, but from the apron to the floor. Fans go wild. Holy crap, chant breaks out. They both barely make it in at the 9 count. Fans rally for Tozawa. Rush counters another German suplex and rolls him up for a 2 count. Rush unloads and botches the come up, hitting the mat. Rush with kicks while both are down on their feet now. Rush unloads with strikes in the middle of the ring. Tozawa catches Rush with a snap German suplex. Tozawa with another German suplex and with a bridge for a close 2 count. Tozawa goes up top. Tozawa goes for the big senton, but Rush gets his knees up. Rush goes back to the top and hits the final hour to Tozawa's back. Rush goes back to the top for another final hour. Rush covers for the pinfall to retain. Kathy Kelly backstage with Finn Balor, asking about the main event. Balor said Tommaso is living in his world, and it's a dark place. He talks about taking out Johnny Gargano and Matt Riddle. And said tonight it will be Ciampa's turn. Back to commercial. Xia Li versus Vanessa Bourne. Back to the right, Xia Li is finishing her entrance. Vanessa's out next. We see how Li recently broke the nose of Bourne's friend, Aaliyah. Tom says Bourne challenged Li to this match because of Aaliyah. The bell rings and they go at it, aggressively taking it to the ropes and to the corner. Bourne is angry, but it backfires, and Li moves, and she runs into the corner. Li overpowers Bourne for a big kick, a big power bomb in the middle of the ring. Li yells at Bourne. NXT Women's Championship ambassador Maria Shafir and Jasmine Duke suddenly appear on the stage. Li watches as Baszler and her crew head down to the ramp. She kicks Bourne in the head to finish for the finish and the win. Winner of the match, Xia Li. After the match, Baszler sends the horsewomen into the ring, but Li ends up fighting them off. Baszler enters the ring and drops Li. Li comes back and unloads on Baszler to drop her. Li fights off Shafir and Duke again until Baszler clubs her from behind to drop her again. Li gets triple teamed now. Baszler takes the mic and says, everyone is trying to take credit for Survivor Series weekend, but no one had the kind of weekend like she had. She touts beating Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and SmackDown Champion Bayley at the same time. Fans are chanting for Rhea Ripley. Baszler goes on yelling about her success until the music hits. Out comes Ripley with a big pop. Ripley enters the ring. All three horsemen exit to boos. Ripley calls Baszler back to the ring because she had something to say to her face. Baszler walks back to the ring and stands on the apron as Ripley gets in her face. Ripley just wants to congratulate the NXT women. Congratulate Baszler. She says Baszler did beat Bayley and Becky, but she went to face with Ripley. She lost. Fan check for Ripley. Ripley says she will do it again, but next time it'll be for the NXT women's title. Fan pop again as Ripley backs up and talks trash. Baszler watches from the apron as fan chat, Ripley's gonna kill you. Baszler enters and gets in Ripley's face. Baszler has heard all this before. She says Ripley might be the nightmare, but she's the reality, and the reality is that Ripley will be tapping or napping like the rest. Baszler joins the mic and exits the ring. Ripley challenges her to come do it again. Do it right now. Fan chat yes, as Baszler teases to come in, but backs off, heads up the ramp. Ripley says Baszler knows if she comes back in the ring, she will get dropped. Baszler heads to the back to the stage with her crew as Ripley talks trash from the ring as the music plays. And now your main event. Well, but back from a break, we see how Damian Priest suffered 2 cracked ribs in the TakeOver Triple Threat match with Pete Dunne and Killian Dane. Dane versus Priest is advertised for next week. Tommaso Ciampa versus Finn Balor. Now your main event. Tommaso was out first. Finn Balor was out last. The bell rings and they lock up. Going to the corner. Fans are dueling chants as they tangle in the corner as the referee warns them. Balor with a shot to the face. Balor shoves him. Ciampa shoves him. Balor takes Ciampa down. Balor goes and knocks Ciampa down again for a 2 count. Ciampa takes it to the corner and kicks Balor in the gut. Ciampa works Balor around the ring and drops him with an elbow. Ciampa with a suplex for a 1 count. Ciampa gets a sunset flip, but Balor rolls through with a drop kick. Balor takes Ciampa back down and grounds him in the middle of the ring. Fan chant for Ciampa. Balor tosses Ciampa out of the ring and drop kicks him through the ropes. Balor goes for a kickoff, the apron, but Ciampa grabs the leg and pulls him to the floor. Balor slides out, sends Ciampa into the ring, but Ciampa comes back, catapults Balor from the floor to the ring post. Ciampa goes and takes a seat on the apron, playing to the crowd for a pop as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Ciampa fights Balor off and mounts momentum out of the corner. Ciampa misses in the corner, but clotheslines Balor out on the apron. Ciampa charges again and knocks Balor from the apron. Ciampa brings him back in the ring with a running strike to the face for a 2 count. Ciampa returns to the ring at 7 count. Balor barely makes it back in the ring. Ciampa meets him with a big knee. Ciampa nails Project Ciampa for another close 2 count in the middle of the ring. Fan chant, this is awesome. Ciampa looks frustrated. Balor blocks a fairy tale ending and hits a double stomp to the chest. Balor with the big drop kick into the corner. Balor goes to the top. But Ciampa cuts him off and climbs up himself. Ciampa with a big super air raid crash, but Balor is still in it. Ciampa goes on and says, this is for Johnny, but NXT champion Adam Cole runs down, and jumps on the apron. Balor with a 2 count as Ciampa swings at him. Balor gets his hand on the NXT title, but Ciampa keeps fighting. Balor drops Ciampa down over the NXT title belt. The referee sees it and decides it was unintentional. Cole ends up delivering a big kick to Ciampa from the floor while the referee is getting rid of the title, allowing Balor to catch him for the 1916 and the pin to win. After the match, Balor recovers as the music plays. Cole is all smiles at ringside. We go to replays. Cole enters the ring with walks past Balor and gets his title from the referee. Ciampa is still down on the mat. Cole and Balor pose over Ciampa and taunt him. Balor suddenly drops Cole with a big overhead kick. Fan chant for Balor. Balor exits the ring as his music plays. Balor points his guns back at the ring, and Cole and Ciampa try to recover on the mat. NXT goes off the air as Balor makes his exit up the ramp. Well, they aired a new vignette for NXT called Technical Savage from Cameron Vines, where Grimes did his recent happenings in NXT and how he picked up the quick win over Sean Maluda several weeks back. Grimes, formerly known as Trevor Lee in Impact Wrestling, and in the Indies lost to Jordan Miles in the finals of the NXT Breakout Tournament. There were 2 dark matches held before NXT, which saw Raul Mendoza defeat Arturo Ruiz, and the second saw Santana Garrett defeat Deonna Purrazzo. Damian Priest versus Killian Dane has been announced for next week. It was noted that this week the Priest suffered a few cracked ribs during the triple threat at TakeOver War Games on Saturday night, which means he worked the 15-minute elimination match Survivor Series while injured. The TakeOver match saw Pete Dunne defeat Priest and Dane following injuries announced coming out of NXT episode from the USA Network, which are usually part of the storylines for the most part. Candice LeRae was diagnosed with an oral laceration to her inner and outer lip after taking a shot to the face from Dakota Kai. Using Tegan Nox's knee brace, stitches were ruled out, and she will be ready for in-ring action after a few days' rest. NXT Tag Team Champion Bobby Fish is currently not medically cleared to compete and is listed as day-to-day on the injured list. Camp noted that Fish landed awkwardly on his partner, Kyle O'Reilly, after being tossed out of the ring by Keith Lee during Wednesday's successful title defense against Lee and Dijakovic. It was ruled during the break by WWE doctor that Fish could not compete, and NXT North American Champion Roderick Strong replaced him. Also noted, there's been some backstage speculation that Fish may have also suffered a concussion, but he was seen walking around backstage at the NXT arena and seemed to be okay. And that concludes my results for this week's NXT and all that jazz. Thanks, peace out. See you on the video.